Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Rooster Booster. You don't see many games with a rooster theme. Here you do. Now, I think the theme is just there for the joke of the pecking order thing. I think that's the only reason why it's here, but it works fine. The roosters are whatever. I do like how the cards are numbered, and as the cards get higher, the chickens seem to mature on it, where like it might be an egg on 0 and you have a full-fledged grandfather rooster on 100 or whatever. I like that. That artistic touch to it is very, very cool and appreciate it. But really, this is just a game of like getting a pecking order, hoping somebody won't knock you down, get negative points if you do. Maybe go after this person. And it's just a numbers game. And what's very interesting about it is you don't have the highest number that you play. You want to have the second highest number. So from second round on, people will play a card, and then another player will play a card face up, face up, face up. And you're hoping to come in second place. And sometimes you'll just ditch it because you can't get it. And that's fine. But second place will allow you to play on the board, i.e. have the potential to score points. If you never come in second place, you will not ever score any points. So you want to make sure it's, at some point in the game you're able to grab that second place and put these down to get put in the pecking order and hopefully knock somebody out, subtracting points, but also giving yourself points. So it's a really neat little mechanism. We're talking about a Dr. Reiner Knizia game. It's all about the mathematics and kind of how this stuff points out. Little neat little novelty of it, but it isn't something that's going to blow your mind. This is a fun little family game. I like playing it with the family. I like playing with the kids. You're looking at a light filler here. But I don't think it's going to have that deep strategy. But it is a thinker, and that's what I like about it. I'm planning out how to get in second place. I'm planning out which order I want to take. Do I even want a place right now? Is this something where I think I can maximize my score? Or do I punt this, throw out one of my low ones, hoping to score later, and maybe I can knock somebody down, versus scoring earlier, well, more than likely, I'll be knocked down. Do you put something low up really high and hope somebody doesn't go after you? Or do you put something really high low, hoping nobody can ever knock you down? Who would ever go for that low spot, cementing your points? There's a few different ways you can play this. I don't know if there's a dominant strategy, just kind of playing off other people and seeing what will happen. And maybe they go after that low one you have, scoring less points, but knocking you down, but giving you negative points. And this is kind of this mind screw that's going on. I like Rooster Booster. I like it. It's not my favorite game. I think it's something I'll stick with the family. It's a lighter game. It's a filler game, but it has that mathematics in it that just kind of makes you think, and you're planning out, what are you going to play? What's the next person going to play? And just kind of thinking this out without ever really knowing what cards they have. It's just a mind cluster. So I like that quite a bit. I want to keep this in my collection. This isn't normally the kind of game that you probably expect for me to be raving about, but I do like this one, and I find myself coming back to it. So keep her for me. Rooster Booster, you have a rooster on top of a ladder. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but it's a pecking order game, so I think that goes along with the joke of what you're doing. Inside, you'll see a rule book, which we'll go over in a few. You're going to have this, mine came in this little bag. I don't know if they all come with this, but it has the little roosters inside and some chips that you'll be utilizing. Pretty neat. You're going to have the board, which will be puzzle pieces that will be put together. So I think that was to make it smaller so it would fit in here better. I'm going to have one of these bags in each of the colors so everybody can play up to 5. And you're going to have your cards, which are pretty good cards. I mean, these are kind of like cheapy cards you would see, but they do the job. They all have some funny artwork on it, unique with the numbers, etc. So works for me for what is a low-budget game. Here's a rule book. It's just a single page front and back. You're going to have a look at some of the components. Not exactly lettered in here, but okay. The board kind of set up with you preparing and how a game round will go. On the back is kind of an example of how a lot of this pecking order thing will be done. It's a little bit confusing, but once you get the hang of it, 2 minutes, you'll be fine. The game does a really good job. At the end, has an end of game, but just a single page. It shows you how easy this game is going to be to play. So each player is going to get their roosters and tokens and their color. These little tiddlywinks are really, really cheap. But the roosters are kind of cool. They kind of look like a rooster, if you will, or at least a chicken, and you'll be utilizing this on the board. The deck will be shuffled. Each player will get 7 cards, which they cannot look at. This will be placed face down in front of them. And then they will receive 3 additional cards, which they can look at and can play. In the first round, what you're going to do is everybody's going to play a card face down, and then you will reveal these at the same time. And whoever played the second highest will get to play there. So in this case, the 32 will be played. The other 2 will be discarded. And you can place this anywhere on the track that you want. And let's say he wants to put it on a 5, and then you will put your rooster on it to signify that it is your rooster. Everybody will draw 1 card from the 7 deck that they have. This will go in their hand. And this is going to be your timer of the game. You're going to play 10 rounds. All of your cards will be played before the game is over. Now, at this point on, the cards will be played face up. So whoever won will go first, and they will play one of their cards, of the 3 they have in their hand. They will place it face up, and let's say the next player played his face up, and whoever, in a 3-player game, whoever got the second highest, in this case 42, will place theirs, that will be discarded. And once again, you can play it anywhere you want. You can play it higher or lower than this. Now, let's say that he played this there and put a green on it, and that would be sufficient. Now, in the next round, so you draw your card again, everybody would play one, and let's say green also play their card in the 45 ended up being lowest. They could go ahead and take red's spot if they want to do that, because 45 is larger than 32, and they could put that there and take that spot, and red would have to give up one of their chips in order to do so. So every time you're knocked down a peg, you have to give up one of your chips. And if you're ever knocked off the board, what's called going into dust, then you would have to give up a chip also. At the end of the game, each chip is 1 point. Each rooster on the ladder, you get a point for what space you're on. There's one down here that's -1. And if you're in the dust that you got completely knocked off the board, you get -5 points. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game will win. Who should buy this game? I mean, strictly if you're looking for a light filler, family weight game. I think families will like this. You're going to want some kids that can add up first. You're talking about maybe 6 and above that can kind of play this and kind of strategize that. And I think if you have teenagers and they want some lighter games to play, like they're not really into gaming, not really into thematic games or the heavy Euros, I think this is when I can really fit that spot for your family. And if you have non-gamers, maybe people from church or scouting or something you're doing where you're playing with people who don't really play a lot of games, this could be one that can kind of get them in, where it's very easy to kind of understand what's going on. But then that coming in second place is kind of unique, and that pecking order that you're looking for is enough to attract somebody to it, and has, you know, the friendly of the roosters, and they're really cute and stuff. So I think that's going to be appealing to some people. So Rooster Booster is one that I actually like. It's been around for a while, and one that I actually recommend you to check out. Check this one out, Rooster Booster. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.